Peer pressure is good for you. People say, oh, peer pressure is bad. People say, I'm gonna homeschool my child because I don't want him to be peer pressured into drugs. People say, oh yeah, I didn't want to have sex, but I was peer pressured into it because like all my roommates were bragging about their body count. Oh, peer pressure is terrible. That's how I ended up joining this cult because I didn't want to feel alone. We all hear this negative stuff about peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. What about the positive people about peer pressure? Yeah, you don't hear about it because those people are successful. I would love to be peer pressured into meditating every day. I would love to be peer pressured into drinking 2 gallons of water a day. Please peer pressure me into studying my audience better. Please peer pressure me into taking marketing more serious so I can reach larger audiences. Please peer pressure me into being more social so that I can persuade and communicate, build a platform better. Peer pressure is not bad. It's all about what kind of peers are you being pressured by. Or you should seek to be around peers who are seeking to be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Was eating to live, yeah, I'm living to eat. Catch me enjoying vegan recipes. Fame for chlorophyll.
Greetings, it's your boy Gartatia, and today I want to tell you about the value of peer pressure. Yeah, that's right. I didn't stutter. You heard it right. Peer pressure is good for you. Like, it's the chaos that makes you appreciate the calm. And it's in the chaos that builds character. If your life never has chaos, right? We live in a society that's so cookie cutter. We live in a society that's so instant gratification. You don't have to risk getting eaten by the dire wolves to go hunt to get dinner. You can just Uber Eats, right? Yeah, you might have died, but guess what? That built character if you survived. Now when you see a mouse or you see a rat or you see a spider, you're going to be chilling. You don't have to be concerned that this fall, this harvest, all your harvest got eaten up by locusts, so you're going to starve this winter. No, you're just going to go in your cozy, climate-controlled, AC'd room and then watch Netflix. No threat. Okay? If we turned off gravity right now, what would happen? You would float around aimlessly. No purpose. You would hold on to whatever you could, push off of whatever's in reach just to have some direction. Look at astronauts. Look at people on satellites. They have to tether cords around their waist when they go to do maintenance on the device so that they don't float into the sun. We need something that holds us together. We need something that allows us to push through resistance. We need friction. We need gravity in our lives. We need gravity of situations. And a great way to have gravity in your life, to have be accountable and have things to overcome is to be subject to peer pressure. Right? People say, oh, peer pressure is bad. People say, oh, I'm going to homeschool my child because I don't want him to be peer pressured into drugs. People say, oh, yeah, I didn't want to have sex, but I was peer pressured into it because like all my roommates were bragging about their body count. People say, oh, peer pressure is terrible. That's how I ended up joining this cult because I didn't want to feel alone. We all hear this negative stuff about peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. What about the positive people about peer pressure? What do they say? No news is good news? Yeah, you don't hear about it because those people are successful. How about peer pressuring, or how about getting peer pressured into hanging around millionaires? How about getting peer pressured into actually losing weight? How about being peer pressured into turning that little video game habit you have, hopping on Twitch and taking it serious and uploading regularly? How about getting peer pressured into completely transforming your diet and curing cancer and curing your STD and curing all sorts of diseases that you thought were genetic, but it's actually because you had shitty diet. Half the people who have acne, it's not fucking genetic. You eat literally cardboard and you're eating, I don't know, 10-year-old cheeseburgers or McDonald's French fries from 1999. That's why you have acne. And it's covered in like grease, which is literally petroleum and pig fat and all these chemicals that they use to make toys out of and plastic bags, and you're putting that in your body. That's why your skin looks like Legos, right? But we don't talk about that peer pressure. We just talk about the negative peer pressure. I would love to be peer pressured into meditating every day. I would love to be peer pressured into drinking 2 gallons of water a day. I would love to be peer pressured into every single day writing music. I would absolutely adore, please peer pressure me to go outside and get some vitamin D every day. Please peer pressure me. Please peer pressure me into studying my audience better. Please peer pressure me into taking marketing more serious so I can reach larger audiences. Please peer pressure me into being more of an extrovert or to being more social so that I can persuade and communicate and build a platform better. Peer pressure is not bad. It's all about what kind of peers are you being pressured by. And you should seek to be pressured, or you should seek to be around peers who are seeking to be the best versions of themselves that they can be. If, as long as you're around those peers, peer pressure is absolutely fantastic. But the thing is, we don't want to leave the peers who aren't applying pressure to be the best. We don't want to leave the family members. We don't want to leave the best friends. We don't want to leave the exes, the girlfriends, the bullpen that pressures us to do the things we claim we don't want to do, but actually feel good. That's the thing. The type of peer pressure that the peers who aren't striving to be their best, see that peer pressure, it feels bad. You feels guilty at the moment, but it feels good. That's why. It's usually instant gratification. We never say peer pressure and then, oh, I was peer pressured to study for that exam. Or I was peer pressured to butter up that CEO so that they could promote me to district manager. Oh, we never hear that peer pressure. It's always something, oh, I was peer pressured to do something fun, like drugs. Oh, I was peer pressured into having that orgy, sex, because what? That feels good, right? We never say I was peer pressured into doing 6 sets at the gym. We don't peer pressure that, right? Because it hurts. It's painful in the moment, right? So that's the difference between peer pressure, right? We don't talk about that kind of peer pressure. And it's interesting how the English language works, right? It's negative when it feels good in the moment. And that's true for a lot of things. There's this quote I love. It's, you pay the cost of bad habits in the future, and the price of good habits is in the present. I think I phrased it wrong, but you get the picture. It's all about a lot of the things you do in the present moment. If it feels bad, not feels bad, but if it hurts to do it. Not feels bad, but if it's challenging, if it's pressure, if it's stressful in the moment. A lot of times those tasks in the future, they take you to the next level, but in the present they hurt. You pay the cost. Whereas the habits in the moment, you might feel bad, like feel guilty bad, but the pleasure aspect, the instant gratification aspect, that part, oh, jubilee, bliss, absolutely amazing, right? So that is the difference. It's all about understanding your environment. What kind of peers are you surrounded by? Who are the people you're texting every day? What are the tasks they're doing? What are their ambitions? What goals do they have in life? Start asking these questions. Start asking the hard questions to your close friends. Sometimes you should stay around them. Most of the times, nothing personal. And I'm not saying cut them off, but you can't be in their circle, because if you stay within the presence of peers who are pressuring you to do things that are going to take gravity out of your life, if you're surrounded by friends who aren't holding you accountable, if you're surrounded by friends who never want to have the hard conversations, if you're surrounded by friends who are constantly never challenging you to be your best version, then those aren't the friends that you want to be peer pressured by, right? You want to be peer pressured by friends who are also on their path to greatness. Like a personal story. I, like 2 months ago, was struggling waking up early. I couldn't for the life of me wake up early. It got so bad, and I invest all my money into my podcast, into my music. I do not like save. I do none of that. It's all investment. So by no stretch of the imagination am I wealthy. But it got so bad. I was like, you know what? I have a good group of friends and peers who are all ambitious, who have their businesses, who have their purposes, who aren't satisfied with just mediocrity. And I said, because I trust these peers, I'm going to do the accountability thing. I let them all know I'm trying to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I'm going to go to the gym every single day. If I miss a day, I'm giving you $100, just like that. And it was so challenging. It was so hard. It was so challenging and hard. But you know what? Once I felt that pain from the pockets, because I screwed up a few times, I relapsed a few times. But greater than the pain of that, it was the pain of, if I don't do this, what are these peers that I look up to gonna think about me? And it's not about, oh, it shouldn't matter what other people think. It's not about, oh, how do you feel? And do what you love and fuck what everybody else thinks. Fuck that. Yes, that works to an extent, but people love to take things out of context when it's convenient for them. That's not what the meaning of that expression means. The meaning of that expression is to fuck the people who don't know anything about you, who aren't on their own path of success, strangers telling you what to do. Yeah, fuck what they think. But people who are on their purpose, people who you look up to, people who are going 110 every single day, value their opinions, value what they think, right? That's super important. And yeah, just make sure you keep a healthy friend group around you. Make sure you stay energized. Make sure you stay refreshed. And make sure you surround yourself with peers or peer groups who are pushing you to be successful. And keep gravity in your life. Don't get rid of gravity. Don't get rid of pressure. Right? Pressure is what makes diamonds, as cliche as that sounds. Right? Like, it's the chaos that makes you appreciate the calm. And it's in the chaos that builds character. If your life never has chaos, right? We live in a society that's so cookie cutter. We live in a society that's so instant gratification. You don't have to risk getting eaten by the dire wolves to go hunt to get dinner. You can just Uber Eats, right? Yeah, you might have died, but guess what? That built character if you survived. Now when you see a mouse or you see a rat or you see a spider, you're going to be chilling. You don't have to be concerned that this fall, this harvest, all your harvest got eaten up by locusts, so you're going to starve this winter. No, you're just going to go in your cozy, climate-controlled, AC room and then watch Netflix. No threat. There's no concern that, oh, I'm in this one village and there's no other mates for me, so I'm going to die and my legacy's going to die and I'm not going to be able to carry on my seed. We got Tinder. We got dating apps. Right? There's no more risk now. So what does that create? Our lizard brain loves that we can have all this comfort because the body has evolved to hold on to food. Like when you're starving, the body will hold on to the fat. When you're building muscle, the body will burn the fat first to keep the muscle. The body knows how to operate in order to keep you alive, right? But the thing is, we're not in survival mode anymore. And some people say this is the most thriving, prosperous generation of humanity. So why are we still acting in survival mode, holding on to fat, holding on to instant gratification, holding on to just the pleasures and the vices of the moment, which are survival mode characteristics in a period of life of prosperity? Why are we holding on to these survival mode lizard brain things? Right? And as powerful as the brain is, as powerful as the neocortex is, we have to take control and deliberately put ourselves in challenging situations. That's going to the gym. That's, if you're an extrovert, deliberately escaping to the Indiana Dunes or to some hiking destination like Starved Rock for 2 weeks just to immerse yourself in nature and be alone with your thoughts. If you're an introvert, it's getting uncomfortable. It's going outside, talking to two strangers a day. If you're somebody who has eaten nothing but meat and cheese all your life and your skin looks like a crater, right? Maybe it's time to do the hard thing, be uncomfortable. Don't eat cooked food until 6 p.m. Drink 2 gallons of water. Cut dairy out, cut meat out, right? It's about being uncomfortable. If you're someone who's been overweight all your life, go for a walk every single day. As much as you hate to do it, put that pressure. Tell your friends, if I don't go for a walk, then I have to wear a suit and tie to work every single day. Make it an inconvenience to not hold up to your promises. And tell your friends so they can hold you. Sign a contract if you have to. Do what you have to do to add that element of peer pressure in that social circle. Again, this is only going to work for people who actually are on their mission because they'll understand how much you want it. And let them hold you accountable. There's people who do things out of sheer motivation. There's people who do things out of sheer will and fortitude. And there's people, as much as they have dreams, as much as they have purpose, what'll get them there is just peer pressure. Just people like, listen, I expect more of you. Listen, I know what you're capable of. This not it. Calling you out. And then that's what'll push them. And I feel like everybody's kind of a spectrum in between that. We need both. We can't, this individualism, Western shit, like, do it on your own. I don't need no person. I'm a so-and-so. I'm a bad bitch. Blah, blah, blah. I got it off my own 10 toes, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, listen, you're going to be a dinosaur. This is the age of cooperation, not competition, right? Peer pressure is going to be the key to your success. And the quicker we unlearn that peer pressure is bad, the more we redefine peer pressure is the moment we redefine our lives. Anywho, I hope this video helped. As always, stay hydrated, stay breathing in that good ass oxygen, and most importantly, stay basic. I love you.